Good morning and thank you for joining me today. We are going to discuss something incredibly important for our long-term health, which is taking a closer look at the food we keep in our homes. Sometimes the greatest improvements to our health and well-being do not come from what we add to our diet, but from what we thoughtfully remove. The things we eat every day have a profound impact on how we feel, how we move, and how long we can enjoy a vibrant and active life. Before we begin our discussion, I have a simple question for you to consider. What is one food you currently have in your pantry or refrigerator that you suspect might not be the best choice for your health? Please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments below, as I am genuinely interested to hear what is on your mind. Now, let us begin our journey into the 15 foods we should consider removing from our kitchens if we are serious about living a longer, healthier life. The very first item on our list is one that many of us grew up with, which is sugary soda and many commercially prepared fruit juices. These beverages are often viewed as a simple refreshment or a harmless treat, but they are one of the most significant sources of hidden sugars in our modern diet. When we consume these drinks, we are essentially flooding our bodies with liquid sugar, which causes a rapid and dramatic spike in our blood sugar levels. Your body then has to work overtime, releasing a large amount of insulin to try and manage this sudden surge of sugar. Over time, this constant demand on your system can lead to a condition called insulin resistance, which is a major stepping stone towards developing type 2 diabetes. Furthermore, the type of sugar most commonly used in these drinks, high fructose corn syrup, is particularly difficult for our liver to process. The liver is forced to convert this excess sugar into fat, which can lead to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition that is becoming increasingly common. A single 12-ounce can of a typical cola contains around 39 grams of sugar, which is a staggering amount. To put that into a clear perspective, the American Heart Association recommends that women should consume no more than 25 grams of added sugar per day, and men no more than 36 grams. This means that one single can of soda contains more than a woman's entire recommended daily limit of sugar, which is the equivalent of eating nearly 10 teaspoons of pure white sugar from a bowl. Even 100% fruit juice, which sounds healthy, is often stripped of its natural fiber during processing, leaving you with concentrated fruit sugar that affects your body similarly to soda. A healthy alternative is to enjoy a tall glass of sparkling water with a squeeze of fresh lemon or lime, which provides the fizziness you might crave without any of the harmful sugar. You could also brew a pitcher of unsweetened iced tea or herbal tea and keep it in the refrigerator for a flavorful and hydrating option. Moving on to our second category, we need to talk about processed meats. This group includes items like hot dogs, sausages, bacon, deli meats like bologna and salami, and even many types of packaged ham and turkey. These products are incredibly convenient for making a quick sandwich or breakfast, but they come with a significant health cost. The main issue with processed meats lies in the methods used to preserve them and enhance their flavor and color. They are often cured, smoked, salted, and loaded with chemical preservatives, specifically nitrates and nitrites. When these chemicals are exposed to high heat during cooking, or even just inside our digestive system, they can form compounds called nitrosamines. Nitrosamines are known to be carcinogenic, meaning they have been directly linked to an increased risk of certain cancers, particularly colorectal and stomach cancer. Beyond the cancer risk, processed meats are notoriously high in sodium, which is used heavily as a preservative. A diet high in sodium is a primary driver of high blood pressure, which puts an enormous strain on your heart and blood vessels over time. High blood pressure, or hypertension, significantly increases your risk for heart attack, stroke, and kidney disease, which are all serious threats to our longevity. Let's consider the sodium content for a moment. Just 2 thin slices of packaged deli turkey can contain over 500 milligrams of sodium. For many older adults, especially those with or at risk for high blood pressure, the recommended daily sodium intake is around 1,500 milligrams. This means that a simple sandwich with a few slices of deli meat could easily provide more than a third of your entire day's sodium allowance before you even add cheese, condiments, or bread. A much healthier choice is to use freshly cooked chicken or turkey breast that you have roasted or baked at home and then sliced yourself. This way you have complete control over the sodium content, and you avoid all the harmful chemical preservatives entirely. Our third item to remove from the kitchen is margarine and vegetable shortening. For many years, margarine was marketed as a healthier alternative to butter. But we now know that this is far from the truth, especially for the older, harder stick margarines. These products were created through a process called hydrogenation, which turns liquid vegetable oils into a solid fat. A very dangerous byproduct of this industrial process is the creation of artificial trans fats. Artificial trans fats are perhaps the single worst type of fat you can eat, as they have a disastrous effect on your cholesterol levels. They simultaneously raise your bad cholesterol, which is called LDL, while also lowering your good cholesterol, which is called HDL. This is a terrible combination for your heart health, as high LDL cholesterol leads to the buildup of plaque in your arteries, a condition known as atherosclerosis. This plaque buildup narrows your arteries, making it harder for blood to flow, which can eventually lead to a heart attack or stroke. The inflammation caused by trans fats also damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels, making them stiff and less flexible. Thankfully, many countries have now banned or severely restricted the use of artificial trans fats, but they can still linger in some processed foods like baked goods, shortenings, and some older margarine formulas. It is crucial to read labels carefully and look for the words partially hydrogenated oil in the ingredients list, which is the primary source of these artificial trans fats. Even if the label says 0 grams of trans fat, manufacturers are allowed to make this claim if the product contains less than half a gram per serving, so checking the ingredient list is your only sure way of knowing. Instead of margarine, it is far better to use healthy fats in moderation. A small amount of real butter from grass-fed cows is a better option. Or you can use healthy oils like extra virgin olive oil for dressings and light cooking. Avocado oil is also an excellent choice for cooking at higher temperatures because of its high smoke point. Next on our list at number 4 are refined carbohydrates, specifically white bread, white rice, and white pasta. These foods are staple items in many households, but they have been stripped of their most nutritious parts during the refining process. The whole grain consists of 3 parts: the bran, which contains the fiber, the germ, which holds the nutrients, and the endosperm, which is the starchy part. The refining process removes the bran and the germ, leaving behind only the starchy endosperm. This process removes almost all of the fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving you with a product that is little more than empty calories. Because all the fiber is gone, your body digests these refined carbohydrates very quickly, converting them into sugar almost instantly. This causes a rapid spike in your blood sugar and insulin levels, very similar to what happens when you drink a can of soda. This constant roller coaster of high and low blood sugar can leave you feeling tired, irritable, and hungry again shortly after eating. Over the long term, this cycle contributes to inflammation, weight gain, and an increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes and heart disease. The lack of fiber is also a significant problem for digestive health, especially as we age. Fiber is essential for keeping our digestive system regular and preventing constipation, and it also feeds the beneficial bacteria in our gut, which are crucial for a healthy immune system. A single slice of typical white bread might contain less than 1 gram of fiber. In contrast, a slice of 100% whole wheat bread can contain 3 or even 4 grams of fiber. Considering that the daily recommendation for fiber is around 25 grams for women and 38 grams for men, choosing whole grains makes a huge difference in reaching that goal. The simple swap here is to replace these white, refined products with their whole grain counterparts. Choose 100% whole wheat bread, brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat pasta to ensure you are getting the fiber and nutrients your body needs for sustained energy and good health. Our 5th item to discard might surprise you, and that is microwave popcorn. While popcorn itself can be a healthy, high-fiber whole grain snack, the kind that comes in a microwavable bag is a different story altogether. The problems with microwave popcorn are not with the corn itself, but with the bag and the artificial flavorings added to it. The bags are often lined with chemicals called perfluorinated compounds, or PFCs, to prevent the oil from seeping through the paper. When these bags are heated in the microwave, these chemicals can break down and migrate into the popcorn you're about to eat. These chemicals have been linked in studies to a number of health issues, including thyroid problems and an increased risk of certain cancers. They are known as forever chemicals because they can accumulate in your body over time and are very difficult for your system to break down and eliminate. Furthermore, the artificial butter flavoring used in many brands of microwave popcorn often contains a chemical called diacetyl. When heated, diacetyl creates fumes that have been linked to a serious and irreversible lung condition, often called popcorn lung. While the risk is highest for factory workers who are exposed to large quantities of this chemical, it is still a substance we should avoid ingesting if at all possible. Beyond the chemicals, these products are also frequently loaded with unhealthy trans fats, excessive sodium, and artificial flavors. A single serving of some brands of movie theater butter-style microwave popcorn can contain as much as 4 grams of trans fat per serving, which is double the amount a person should consume in an entire day, according to many health organizations. The healthier, safer, and often more affordable way to enjoy popcorn is to make it the old-fashioned way. You can buy plain popcorn kernels and pop them on the stovetop in a pot with a little bit of coconut oil or avocado oil. Alternatively, you can place the kernels in a plain brown paper bag, fold the top over, and microwave it yourself for a few minutes until the popping slows down. This way you get a delicious high-fiber snack, and you can control the toppings, perhaps using a little melted butter and a sprinkle of sea salt. Coming in at number 6 on our list are store-bought salad dressings. We often make a big, beautiful salad full of fresh vegetables, thinking we are making an exceptionally healthy choice. However, we can unknowingly ruin all of our good intentions by pouring a commercial salad dressing all over it. Many of these bottled dressings, especially the creamy ones like ranch or Caesar, and even many vinaigrettes, are packed with unhealthy ingredients. They are often loaded with low-quality vegetable oils that are high in omega-6 fatty acids, such as soybean oil or corn oil. While our bodies need some omega-6 fats, the modern diet provides far too many of them relative to healthy omega-3 fats, and this imbalance can promote chronic inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation can worsen conditions like arthritis and contribute to the development of heart disease. These dressings are also a major source of hidden sugars, high fructose corn syrup, and excessive sodium. It is not uncommon to find that just a 2-tablespoon serving of a popular brand of ranch dressing contains 2 or 3 grams of sugar and nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. To put that in perspective, that's almost as much sodium as a small bag of potato chips, and the sugar is equivalent to about half a teaspoon of sugar, which you would never think to sprinkle on your salad. Many light or fat-free dressings are even worse, as manufacturers often remove the fat, but then add even more sugar and salt to make up for the lack of flavor. The best solution is to make your own simple and delicious salad dressing at home. It is incredibly easy to do. You can simply whisk together some high-quality extra virgin olive oil, which is a fantastic source of healthy monounsaturated fats and anti-inflammatory compounds, with a bit of vinegar like balsamic or apple cider vinegar. You can then add a pinch of salt, a crack of black pepper, and maybe a little bit of mustard to help it emulsify, and you will have a wonderful, healthy dressing in just a few minutes. Our 7th food to throw out is canned soups. Canned soup seems like a convenient and comforting meal, especially on a cold day or when you are not feeling well. However, the vast majority of commercially prepared canned soups are a nutritional nightmare, primarily because of their shocking sodium content. The canning process requires a huge amount of salt to preserve the soup and enhance its flavor, and the numbers can be truly astonishing. A single 1-cup serving of a popular canned chicken noodle soup can contain over 800 milligrams of sodium. Remember, the daily recommended limit for many older adults is around 1,500 milligrams, so one small bowl of soup could provide more than half of your entire day's worth of sodium. Many people eat the entire can, which is typically 2 servings, meaning they are consuming over 1,600 milligrams of sodium in one single meal. This massive sodium load can cause an immediate spike in blood pressure, make you retain water and feel bloated, and put a tremendous strain on your kidneys and cardiovascular system over the long run. In addition to the sodium, many canned soups contain a flavor enhancer called monosodium glutamate, or MSG, which can cause headaches, flushing, and other unpleasant symptoms in people who are sensitive to it. They also often contain low-quality ingredients, processed meats, and very few actual vegetables. The canning process itself can also destroy some of the heat-sensitive vitamins, like vitamin C, that would be present in a freshly made soup. A much better approach is to make a large batch of homemade soup using a low-sodium broth or stock. You can load it up with fresh vegetables, lean protein like chicken or beans, and whole grains like barley or brown rice. You can then freeze the soup in individual portions for a quick and convenient meal that is packed with nutrients and not with sodium. Next, at number 8, we have the category of sweetened breakfast cereals. Many of us start our day with a bowl of cereal, believing it to be a wholesome and energizing way to begin the morning. Unfortunately, most of the cereals that line the supermarket aisles are more like dessert than a nutritious breakfast. These products are typically made from refined grains, like processed corn or wheat, and are then heavily coated with sugar. It is not unusual for a single serving of a popular children's or even adult cereal to contain 12 to 15 grams of sugar. To visualize this, that is the equivalent of putting 3 or 4 full teaspoons of sugar on your breakfast before you even add any milk, which also contains natural sugars. This massive sugar rush first thing in the morning starts your day off on that same blood sugar roller coaster we have discussed. You will get a quick burst of energy, followed by an inevitable crash a couple of hours later, leaving you feeling tired, foggy, and craving more sugary or starchy foods. This is a terrible way to set the stage for a productive and energetic day, and it contributes to the cycle of inflammation and insulin resistance. Many of these cereals are also marketed as being fortified with vitamins and minerals, which can be misleading. While it is true that synthetic vitamins are added back into the product, this is only because the natural nutrients were stripped away during the refining process in the first place. It is far better to get your vitamins and minerals from whole, unprocessed foods, rather than from a highly processed sugary cereal. Instead of these sugary options, choose a breakfast that is high in protein and fiber, which will provide you with steady, long-lasting energy. A great choice is a bowl of plain oatmeal, which is a whole grain packed with a special type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, known to help lower cholesterol. You can top your oatmeal with some fresh berries for sweetness and antioxidants, and a handful of nuts or seeds for healthy fats and protein. Another excellent option is a couple of eggs, which are a fantastic source of high-quality protein that will keep you feeling full and satisfied until lunchtime. The 9th food item to clear from your kitchen is flavored yogurt. Yogurt has a well-deserved reputation as a health food, as plain yogurt is an excellent source of protein, calcium, and beneficial probiotics for gut health. However, the moment that fruit, vanilla, or any other flavor is added at the factory, it often transforms from a health food into a sugar-laden dessert. The fruit on the bottom, or pre-mixed flavored yogurts, are typically packed with an incredible amount of added sugar, syrups, and artificial flavors. A small single-serving container of a popular brand of strawberry yogurt can contain anywhere from 15 to 25 grams of sugar. That 25-gram amount is the entire recommended daily limit of added sugar for a woman, all contained in one small yogurt cup that is marketed as a healthy snack. This is more sugar than you would find in some candy bars or a scoop of ice cream. This high sugar content completely negates the health benefits of the yogurt by contributing to blood sugar instability, inflammation, and weight gain. Many people reach for these yogurts as a quick breakfast or a healthy snack, not realizing they are consuming a significant amount of their daily sugar allowance in just a few bites. The healthy and delicious alternative is to buy plain unsweetened yogurt, preferably Greek yogurt, which is even higher in protein. You can then control the sweetness and flavor yourself by adding your own fresh or frozen fruit, like a handful of blueberries or some sliced peaches. If you need a little extra sweetness, you can add a tiny drizzle of pure maple syrup or honey, which still allows you to use far less sugar than what is found in the pre-flavored versions. You can also stir in a sprinkle of cinnamon or a drop of vanilla extract for flavor without adding any sugar at all. This simple change allows you to enjoy all the benefits of yogurt, without the detrimental effects of the hidden sugars. At number 10 on our list, we find processed cheese slices and spreads. This includes those individually wrapped bright orange slices of American cheese, as well as cheese that comes in a spray can or a jar. While these products may contain some components of real cheese, they are more accurately described as cheese products because they are made with a host of other, less desirable ingredients. They are typically made by melting down cheese and then adding emulsifiers, artificial colors, extra salt, and preservatives to create a product with a very long shelf life and a consistent meltable texture. The result is a product that is very high in sodium and unhealthy saturated fats, and it often contains very little of the nutritional value of real cheese, such as calcium. A single one of those thin slices of processed American cheese can contain nearly 300 milligrams of sodium. If you make a grilled cheese sandwich with 2 slices of this cheese, you are already at 600 milligrams of sodium, before even accounting for the salt in the butter and the bread. This is a significant portion of your daily sodium budget from a very small amount of food. The emulsifying salts used in these products, such as sodium phosphate, can also be a concern. High phosphate intake has been linked in some studies to health issues, particularly for individuals with kidney problems, and it can also affect bone and cardiovascular health. Instead of these highly processed cheese products, opt for real natural cheese like cheddar, Swiss, provolone, or mozzarella. While real cheese should still be enjoyed in moderation due to its fat and sodium content, it is a whole food that provides valuable protein and calcium. Buying a block of real cheese and slicing it yourself is a far healthier choice for your sandwiches and recipes. It will taste better, and you will be avoiding the unnecessary chemicals, artificial colors, and excessive sodium found in its processed counterparts. Our 11th category of foods to remove is packaged snack cakes, cookies, and pastries. This includes things like cream-filled sponge cakes, powdered donuts, and cellophane-wrapped cookies that can sit on a shelf for months without spoiling. These items are the epitome of ultra-processed foods, engineered by food scientists to be intensely sweet and satisfying, making them almost irresistible. They are made almost entirely from a combination of the worst possible ingredients for our health: refined white flour, massive amounts of sugar or high fructose corn syrup, and unhealthy fats like partially hydrogenated oils or palm oil. As we have already discussed, this combination sends your blood sugar soaring, promotes inflammation, and contributes directly to weight gain, particularly dangerous belly fat. They offer virtually no nutritional value whatsoever. They contain no fiber, no vitamins, no minerals, just empty calories that can displace more nutritious foods in your diet. A single small packaged cream-filled snack cake can contain over 20 grams of sugar and a significant amount of unhealthy saturated or trans fats. Eating these foods regularly can have a profoundly negative impact on your health, increasing your risk for obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. The high sugar and refined carbohydrate content can also negatively affect your mood and energy levels, leading to that familiar cycle of a quick high followed by a slump. If you have a craving for something sweet, it is much better to have a small portion of a high-quality treat. For example, a small square of dark chocolate with at least 70% cocoa content is a much better choice, as it is lower in sugar and contains beneficial antioxidants called flavonoids that are good for your heart and brain health. Baking your own treats at home is also a great alternative, as it allows you to control the ingredients. You can use whole wheat flour, reduce the amount of sugar in the recipe, and use healthier fats like applesauce or mashed banana in place of some of the oil or butter. Coming in at number 12 are deep-fried foods. This includes foods like French fries, fried chicken, onion rings, and donuts that are cooked by being submerged in hot oil. While these foods can be very tasty, the process of deep frying makes them incredibly unhealthy, especially when consumed regularly. When foods, particularly starchy foods like potatoes, are cooked at very high temperatures, a harmful chemical compound called acrylamide can form. Acrylamide has been identified as a potential carcinogen, and regular exposure to it is something we should aim to minimize. The oils used for deep frying in most restaurants and for most processed frozen foods are typically cheap vegetable oils like corn, soy, or canola oil. When these oils are heated to high temperatures over and over again, they can become oxidized and unstable, creating trans fats and other inflammatory compounds. Consuming these damaged fats is very harmful to your cardiovascular system, contributing to plaque buildup in the arteries and increasing your risk of heart disease. Of course, deep-fried foods are also incredibly high in calories and fat, which can lead to significant weight gain if eaten frequently. A medium-sized order of French fries from a typical fast food restaurant can contain over 350 calories and 17 grams of fat. This is a huge amount of calories for a side dish that offers very little in terms of vitamins, minerals, or fiber. Instead of deep frying, you can achieve a similar crispy texture using much healthier cooking methods. An air fryer is a fantastic kitchen tool that can make foods like potatoes or chicken wings crispy with just a tiny amount of oil. You can also toss vegetables or potato wedges with a little bit of olive oil and your favorite seasonings, and then roast them in a hot oven until they are golden brown and delicious. These methods give you that satisfying crunch you crave without all the unhealthy fats and harmful compounds associated with deep frying. Our 13th item to reconsider is non-dairy coffee creamer, both the liquid and powdered varieties. Many people add these creamers to their coffee every single morning without giving it a second thought. However, these products are often a chemical concoction that bears little resemblance to actual cream. The primary ingredients in most non-dairy creamers are typically water, sugar, or corn syrup, and some type of vegetable oil, often partially hydrogenated oil. As we discussed earlier, partially hydrogenated oil is the main source of artificial trans fat, which is terrible for your heart health. Even if the label claims zero trans fat, it can still contain these harmful oils if the amount is less than half a gram per serving, and most people use more than the tiny serving size listed. To make this mixture of oil and water look and feel like cream, manufacturers add a host of thickeners, emulsifiers, and artificial flavors. Powdered versions often contain ingredients like corn syrup solids and sodium caseinate, a milk derivative, to give them a creamy texture. You are essentially adding a mixture of sugar, unhealthy fat, and chemicals to your morning coffee. A single tablespoon of some popular liquid-flavored coffee creamers can contain 5 grams of sugar. If you use 2 or 3 tablespoons in your coffee and you have 2 cups of coffee a day, you could be adding 30 grams of sugar to your diet before you have even eaten breakfast. This is more than the entire daily recommended sugar intake for a woman. Healthier alternatives for your coffee include using a splash of real milk or a small amount of actual cream or half and half. If you are lactose intolerant, there are many excellent unsweetened plant-based milks available, such as almond milk, oat milk, or soy milk. These options provide a creamy texture to your coffee without the unhealthy fats, hidden sugars, and artificial ingredients found in commercial creamers. The 14th item on our list may be a surprise to those who thought they were making a healthy choice, and that is agave nectar. Agave nectar or syrup has been heavily marketed for years as a healthy, natural alternative to sugar, often found in the health food aisle of the grocery store. The marketing suggests that because it comes from a plant and has a low glycemic index, it is better for you. The low glycemic index means it does not cause a rapid spike in blood sugar, which is true. But the reason for this is actually what makes agave so unhealthy. While regular table sugar is about 50% fructose and 50% glucose, agave nectar is a highly processed sweetener that can be up to 85 or even 90% fructose. This is an incredibly high concentration of fructose, even higher than what is found in high fructose corn syrup. As we learned when discussing soda, the body cannot easily use fructose for energy. It must be processed almost exclusively by the liver. When the liver is overwhelmed with a large amount of fructose, it has no choice but to convert it into fat, specifically triglycerides. This process contributes directly to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, increases your levels of bad LDL cholesterol, and can lead to visceral fat, which is the dangerous fat that accumulates around your organs. So, while agave nectar will not spike your blood sugar, it places a unique and heavy metabolic burden on your liver, which can be very damaging to your health in the long run. A tablespoon of agave nectar contains about 60 calories and 15 grams of sugar, all of which is heading straight to your liver to be processed. It is a mistake to think of it as a healthy sweetener. It is simply a different and in some ways more insidious type of sugar. If you need to add a touch of sweetness to your food or drinks, it is better to use very small amounts of more natural sweeteners, like a tiny bit of pure maple syrup or raw honey, as they have a more balanced fructose to glucose ratio and contain some trace minerals and antioxidants. Ultimately, the best goal is to gradually reduce your overall reliance on all added sweeteners and learn to appreciate the natural sweetness of foods like fruit. Finally, our 15th and last item to throw out is diet soda and other artificially sweetened drinks. For decades, people have switched from regular soda to diet soda, believing they are making a healthier choice because these drinks contain 0 calories and 0 sugar. However, a growing body of research suggests that these artificial sweeteners may come with their own set of health problems. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, and isosulfame potassium are hundreds of times sweeter than regular sugar. When you consume these intensely sweet substances, it can confuse your brain and your body. Your brain tastes the sweetness and expects calories and energy to follow, but when they do not arrive, it can disrupt your body's natural ability to regulate hunger and calorie intake. Some studies suggest that this can actually lead to increased cravings for other sweet, high-calorie foods later on, potentially contributing to weight gain over time, which is the very thing people are trying to avoid. There is also concern about how these artificial sweeteners affect our gut microbiome, which is the delicate ecosystem of trillions of bacteria living in our digestive tract. A healthy gut microbiome is essential for good digestion, a strong immune system, and even mental health. Some research indicates that artificial sweeteners can alter the balance of these gut bacteria, promoting the growth of unhelpful strains and reducing the diversity of the microbiome, which can have negative long-term health consequences. While the occasional diet soda is unlikely to cause significant harm, making it a daily habit is not a wise health strategy. You are not doing your body any favors by replacing sugar with these chemical substitutes. The very best beverage you can drink is plain, clean water. Staying well hydrated is fundamental to every single process in your body, from regulating your temperature to keeping your joints lubricated and your mind sharp. If you find plain water boring, I will repeat my earlier suggestion. Infuse it with natural flavors like cucumber, mint, lemon, or berries for a refreshing and healthy alternative that has no calories, no sugar, and no artificial chemicals. Clearing these 15 items out of your kitchen is a powerful and proactive step you can take towards a longer, healthier, and more vibrant life. If you found this information helpful and would like to learn more about living a healthier life, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this. Please remember, the information shared in this video is for educational purposes and is based on extensive research and personal experience in helping people with their diets. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, so always consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare provider before making any significant changes to your diet or health regimen. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.